Yes! Yes! We are doing The Armed. Only love today, boys. Only love. Let me just say, from the outset, you should listen to this album. Even if you feel like you've heard every rendition of mathcore, noise rock, hardcore, and metalcore under the fucking yellow sun, just listen to this. Because this album is inimitable. 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 And in dire need, given how boxed in and sterile the bulk of those genres have been for quite a while now. Honestly, it was flabbergasting to hear this for the first time, as I couldn't figure out how a band, especially one with only one permanent member seemingly, could have engineered this kind of a sound, let alone succeed with it in flying colors. Portal did something very similar this year in the tech deaf circle with their manic ionized mess of an album, Ion of course. And to be fair, they've been at it for a while with considerably muddier and more perplexing production styles. But this contains completely different soundscapes, especially for a genre which is typically moreover known for perfectly enameled production styles, so that whenever electronic embellishments are used, they sound just lazy or even cheesy, or both. But no, this is meticulous and dense and raw, like a honeycomb of fucking bees and honey. It could be argued that this is reminiscent of some of Converge's most recent displays, but honestly, beyond that, I can't find many comparisons. This is its own beast, like, this is some weird cybergrind fucking post-mathcore love child made in a shed, filled with oscillators, and it's fucking great. Oscillators, mate. Oscillators. And yes, the Converge influence isn't just obvious in the mastering, for dusted throughout the relentless cacophonies of this record are similarities in tempo, screaming, riffage, and most especially the drumming, and that's no coincidence given that it is delivered here by none other than theirs, Ben Collar, who apparently seems to have made a guest appearance on this album. In any case, his work is relentless and wrought with stilled skill, with his feels infinitely regressing into one another and providing the only discernible scaffolding of this album. But the uniqueness here is all in the texturing, that flummoxing, bloody cross-section of static-drenched industrial synths and electronic embellishments, which in turn buries the bulk of the instrumental weight of this album behind what effectively sounds like a bad TV signal. I know that that doesn't sound particularly palatable. Palatable. I know that doesn't sound particularly palatable, but because these discordant qualities transforms this abrasive, hard-hitting, crunchy, hardcore instrumentation into something more clouded, ambiguous, and desperate, the resulting product is beyond refreshing. It's beyond refreshing, boys. It's better than a fucking bottle of water at the beach if you're thirsty. See, one of my biggest complaints about mathcore, alongside pretty much every other subgenre with the suffix of core, is that the production and mastering is always so loud and distinct and polished without even a modicum of personality and completely void of that masked lo-fi dissonance. This is the exact opposite, yet is mastered and produced unarguably with more skill, attention to detail, and rigor, boys. The amount of awe-inspiring, meticulous, oscillating, bloody, modulated MIDI sequencing they engineered here feels like this genre's equivalent of the Manhattan Project, when you really think about the effort that went into each song. Like, it's pretty incredible. And so rewarding with some proper headphones on. I mean, I can only imagine what this trawling, cacophonous wreckage would sound like through my shitty beach speaker, especially for the other patrons, you know.
Young whippersnippers these days don't even listen to music. It's just noise.
In terms of songwriting, the instrumentation drills hair-tingling emotive climaxes into me at almost every occasion, played in rhythms and alongside textures you just wouldn't think could can join harmoniously in this wall of sound. It's difficult to delineate all of the elements in individual songs with precision because of just how every aspect bleeds into one another in a borderless mess. But yes, each song is its own beast and worthy of its own analysis. At Perception, for example, is only 1 minute and 50 seconds long, yet is a standout track for me, and just how orgasmic and climactic it feels for its entire duration. It's just this guttering hurricane of noise, yet still harmonic enough to be more than just a wall of sound. Then Parody Warning, the next song, let's just say I can see why they called it Parody Warning. It's suitably circus-rimmed in tone, with a spastic crashing instrumentation with those ridiculous anime-esque female backup vocals, which are then fleshed out in the following track, Fortune's Daughter, which is a song that features these driving, pounding, beating drum patterns alongside a droning refrain, which succeeds in being infectious and catchy in part because your ears are just so desperate for finding a melody at this point. And yes, by the end of the album, not gonna lie, your ears are exhausted by the cacophony, but let it be said, On Jupiter is its own breed of a song and a good closer. It starts and ends fairly unassuming with a sparse weaving of static roughness, but it's that writhing, clutch-breaking, modulated guitar in the midpoint and how it breaks through and peaks in this rhythm and wrangling your ears out of any sense of previously held peace, whilst the vocals all the while just remain evocative and raw and powerful despite being completely buried under the mix as ever. Fucking accent. Yeah, I don't know, I can point to any song here to example the sheer primordial energy. I mean, the opener Witness has this driving discordant beat as well, with those post-rock almost like tonal layers and also the structuring, and yet it succeeds in a way which most bands from that genre could only dream about evoking. It isn't all perfect, of course. It wouldn't quite fit at your grandma's birthday lunch, nor when you're trying to convince your girl to fucking stop hogging the aux for once, but, you know, to me the uniqueness here cannot be understated in determining how enjoyable this record is, because I feel like I'm listening to the birth of a new microgenre. A microgenre which is just so detailed and rich and primal. That's just what I love about music. Effort, passion, a drive, a groove, experimentation, technicality, and skill. It's all here and I love it for that. And I'm just going to finish this review up with a cheeky 4.5 out of 5. And I'll just catch you on the flip. Too easy. Appreciate it when you subscribe-aroos. Fucking love you cunts. Fucking... Yep, all the likes, all the feedback, comment, whatever. It just helps the channel grow. Bloody, you know how it is. And yeah, just catch you later. Just enjoy your day. Have a good one. And yeah, that's it. Bye. Woo!